Good morning, I'm Judge Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Letitia Follow, the Office of Public Defender.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Thank you. Good morning, your name, sir?
Trayvon Lewis.
Mr. Lewis, you're here in 20 CF 1359. You were arrested for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're not to have any contact with the victim, Demario Green. And your bond is $1,000, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
David Soldani.
Mr. Soldani, this is 20 CF 1064. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, sir. I am revoking the bond in 19 CF 14637. That will be set at none, sir. Thank you.
Ma'am?
Sir? I revoked your bond on the out on bond case. It's set at none. Thank you.
So I can't bond out?
You cannot. You have to have your lawyer file a motion. Good morning, sir. Your name?
James White,
I think it's 01 is the case number? Or 10? I don't know what the case number is.
01.
01, okay. You failed to appear, sir. Your bond is set at $1,000. Is it, and then, is that just on count one, or? Oh, so just 500 each? Okay, all right, so your bond is 1,000 total, so it'd be 500 out to each count. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna find a waiver of Mr. Billings' appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. He was arrested for armed kidnapping, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, carjacking with a firearm, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Ms. Fusco, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state asked the court to consider all the facts in the arrest affidavit, including the facts that the crime was captured on iris cameras and observed as it was occurring by a law enforcement officer. The handgun was observed in the hand of the defendant as it was pointed at victim 2 by officers as the defendant was attempting to enter the vehicle of victim 2. Also, the co-defendant made admissions regarding the elements of the crime to law enforcement officers. The state argues that there is proof evident or presumption grade and asks that the court hold the defendant without bond to prevent flight and for the safety of the community.
All right. Ms. Fowler, did you want to be heard?
Your Honor, we defer the matter to the court.
All right. The state's met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption grade based upon the information contained in the probable cause arrest affidavit. Bond will remain at none as to counts 1 and 3. I'll say the bond on counts 2 and 4. He's not to have any contact with the victim or the co-defendant. He's not to possess any weapons or any firearms. I'm revoking the bond in 20 CF 370 and 19 CF 15420. Both of those will be set at none. Well, sir, you can't just stand back there and yawn loudly in the courtroom. It's super rude. Tell me your name.
Anthony Terrell Dotson.
Mr. Dotson, you are here, sir, in 20 MM 686. You were arrested for disorderly conduct and trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Dotson?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, time served, court costs, no return to the scene of the trespass.
Mr. Dotson, did you want to accept the offer?
I want to plead not guilty.
All right, sir. Your bond is $250 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
Yeah, I want a trial.
Great, you'll get one.
For a
Thank
jury.
you. All right, sir, thank you.
You too, Amy Carter. Jury in between.
What did he just say? He said what? Okay. All right, or we're gonna move on. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, man?
Hi, sir, are you Mr. Rich?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Can we pass by Mr.
Sure, no problem. I'm sorry, sir, tell me your name again?
Artavius Benton.
All right, Mr. Benton, you are here in 20 CF 1353. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of ecstasy, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause, sir. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is 1,000, count 2, 150, count 3, 100, count 4, 100. I am going to revoke the bond in 19 CF 15541. That will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
What did I do?
Oh, the top bond and then subsidiaries. If it's a misdemeanor. So, 1,000, 150, 100. Mhm. Ma'am, good morning. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Malone Bunham.
Ma'am, you have 3 cases this morning, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you in all 3.
Yes, ma'am.
You were arrested in 20 CF 1358 for possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. Bond on count 1 is 1,000, bond on count 2 is 100. You have 19 MM 4276. You failed to appear. Your bond is $2,000 in that matter. That was related to a petty theft. And then you have 20 MM 762. You were arrested for battery. There's probable cause for that offense. Your bond is $100. And you're not to have any contact with Megan Montgomery, and you're not to return to the Walgreens.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And not
Thank
to
you.
possess any weapons or firearms.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Thomas Carlin.
Mr. Carlin, you are here in 20 CF 1284. Excuse me, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated stalking with a credible threat and battery. You're not to have any contact with Sagely Schubert. You're not to return to the Westgate Resort. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $500, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Christy Flores.
Ms. Flores, you're here in 20 CF 1364. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for RICO, conspiracy to commit racketeering, conspiracy to traffic in heroin greater than 28 grams, conspiracy to traffic in heroin 28 grams, conspiracy to traffic in cocaine greater than 400 grams, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Ma'am, did you want to hire a lawyer to help you with this case, or? Oh, you have it. Or did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Public defender.
All right, ma'am, I'll appoint them to represent you. At this time, I'm going to stay the bond as to each count. I think that the attorneys can file a bond motion in the division where that can be better determined at that time. So bond on count 1 is 50,000, bond on count 2 is 50,000, bond on count 3 is 100,000, bond on count 4 is 100,000, count 5 is 25,000, and count 6 is 500,000. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, your name? Mr. Hodge, this is 20 CF 1357. You were arrested for battering a law enforcement officer, threatening a public servant, resisting officer with violence and without violence. There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500, and on count 2 and 3, $150, count 4, $100, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Mr. Hoover, you are here in 19 CF 16317. You failed to appear for court, sir, on the 29th. Your bond on count 1 is 1,000, your bond on count 2 is 500, your bond on count 3 is 100. I think the public defender was previously appointed. Thank you, Mr. Hoover. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Mr. Jack?
Yes, ma'am.
You are here, sir, in 20 CF 1355, where you were arrested for possession of a firearm or ammunition by convicted felon, possession of a counterfeit driver's license, and resisting officer without violence. You have another case this morning. I'll appoint the public defender for both. And in 20 CF 1346, you were arrested for burglary to an unoccupied structure and resisting officer without violence. On 20 CF 1355, bond on count 1 is going to be $3,500. Bond on count 2 is $150. Bond on count 3 is $150. And in 20 CF 1346, bond on count 1 is $150. Bond on count 2 is $100. Sir, you are not to return to the scene, and you're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses or victims. Thank you.
Oh, violation.
Is it without or with? It's 100.
Your Honor, did you mention the violation of parole?
It's not gonna be.
I didn't, there's no, I don't have an on view. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Carlos Alberto Perez Gonzalez.
Sir, you are here in 20 CF 10730. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for conspiracy to traffic in cocaine, 28 grams or more, trafficking in cocaine greater than 28 grams but less than 200. You have 3 counts of that. And then your 5th count is unlawful use of a two-way communication device. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. At this time, I'm going to stay the bonds as to each count. Counts 1 through 3 is at $50,000. Count 4 is at $100,000. Count 5 is at $2,500. Your lawyer can file a bond motion, sir. They'll also need to file a bond motion in 18 CF 9810. I'm revoking that bond, and that will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Sir, good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Michael Joe Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, this is 20 CF 1320. You were arrested for grand theft of a firearm, for trafficking in methamphetamine, 14 grams or more, possession of a controlled substance without a valid prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $150. Your bond on count 2 is $5,000. Your bond on count 3 is $150. Your bond on count 4 is $100. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Daniel Rodriguez Maldonado.
Yes, sir. You're here in case number 20 CF 1356. You were arrested for burglary of an unoccupied structure or conveyance and petty theft. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to Westbrook Service Corporation. You're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses, sir. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $1,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Gregory William Shepard.
Mr. Shepard, this is 20 CF 1328. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There's probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Oh, there's just 2 affidavits in here for some reason. Sir, you're not to have any contact with Gabriel Adrobal. You're not to return to the Lynx bus station. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. And your bond is $500. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning. Sir, your name?
Michael Williams.
Mr. Williams, this is case number 19 CF 173. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft 3rd degree. You're not to return to Enterprise or have any contact with any of the witnesses. The state of Florida actually filed a 2-count information charging you with burglary of a conveyance and grand theft 3rd degree. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is going to be $2,500. Thank you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Miss Mack?
Yes.
Okay. And this was a negotiated plea from Judge McGinnis's division. It looks like it's to a driving while license suspended? No motor vehicle registration? That's it? Okay. And the agreement is an adjudication of guilt and court costs. Is that your understanding, Ms. Mack?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll just need the plea form, please. Do we know how many days that Ms. Mack has? 20? Okay. Ms. Mack, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up? Any questions about anything you read on the plea form?
No, ma'am.
All right. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 20 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 20 days time served. You're gonna have to pay court costs. Those are due by January 31st of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Fusco, are you good on the 33-day motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll start with the add-on, and that's 19MM 10404, Renal Rosario.
On January 30th, there was a notice of non-filing.
That will be granted. 19MM 10385, Scotty Coburn.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 30th, there was a request for administrative transfer and information filed, and I have clocked copies.
Ms. Fowler, were you given a copy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, that'll be denied. 19 CF 17515, Victor Rodriguez.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 29th, there was a notice of non-filing.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 17630, Rogelio Leon.
Yes, Your Honor, on January 30th, an information was filed, filing ID 102523907.
All right, that'll be denied. Rich, oh, Dexter, what about Mr. Rich?
I have
Or Miss
January
Rich?
30th.
Second session?
Okay.
You want to take just a quick break then, or?
I have the supplemental reports on that case from yesterday.
Oh, okay, do you want to approach?
Also.
Did that gentleman bond out? Thank you. Do you have?
In this case, what happened was when the police went out on the warrant arrest that you already heard yesterday,
Yes.
the address that he had reported was an address that belonged to his cousin, and she said she'd lived there 4.5 years and he had never lived there. So they went back and tried to find another address on him. And so they looked at what was under his driver's license, and that was a second address, but that was something that he had lived like sometime in the past, but he wasn't living there now. And so if you look, there's 2 different supplemental reports and 2 jurats. And the one short report kind of describes how when it came through in the little form here, the statute was correct, but the statute, I guess there isn't enough space there to put the whole statute. And the last thing, if you look on the longer supplemental report, the third to the last paragraph, it gives the whole statute, and it does have all that email and things that we were seeing yesterday. But the thing that didn't make it onto our form yesterday was the last part, that's who knowingly provides false registration information by act or omission commits a felony of the 3rd degree. So he had the incorrect address of his cousin. That was the false address that was provided.
Okay. So it's all from the same reporting day.
Right. One was for the original warrant, and then the second one, the charge was because he provided a false address, and the police had to go to the one address, then they had to track down the driver's license, which was also an incorrect address, and
Okay.
so forth.
All right, I got it. Are we ready to go on everything else? Or no?
Oh, yeah.
We're ready? Dexter, are you good?
Yes.
They're here? Oh, okay. Ms. Fusco, are you okay to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right.
Mr. Bowman refused to attend her.
Okay. Well, I'm going to find a waiver then of Mr. Bowen's appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. He has several cases this morning. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him in each case. 20 MM 768, he was arrested for resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. Bond is $100. I'm revoking the bond in 20 CF 333. That will be set at none. And then he was arrested in 20 CF 1325 pursuant to a probable cause warrant for fleeing and eluding, reckless driving, driving without a valid driver's license, driving with license suspended, and aggravated assault on a firefighter or EMT. Bond on count 1 is going to be $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $500. Bond on count 3, $100. Count 4, $100. Count 5, $100. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Amanda Gilliland.
Pardon me?
Amanda Gilliland.
Ma'am, you're here in 20 CF 1365. You were arrested for DUI with serious bodily injury. There's probable cause, ma'am. Were you going to hire a lawyer to help you with this case? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't have a face sheet for Ms. Gilliland. Does she qualify for PTR? She does qualify. Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to place you in pretrial release at this time.
Okay. What
Okay.
does that mean?
So what it means is that you are not going to have to pay any money to get out of the jail. However, you're going to be supervised by the pretrial program while you're waiting for your case to resolve in court.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Holden, Joseph Holden.
Mr. Holden, you're here in 20 CF 1362. You were arrested for trafficking in methamphetamines greater than 28 grams, possession of heroin, possession of a counterfeit payment instrument, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams, driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, bond on count 1 is going to be $50,000. Bond on count 2, $150, 3, $150, 4, $150, 5, $150, 6, $100. I am going to revoke the bond, though, in 19 CF 2796. That's going to be set at none. Thank you, sir.
The one that you're out on bond?
Good morning. Your name?
Samiko Sina.
Mr. Osina, this is 20 CF 1360. You were arrested for a bomb threat. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Monica, do you have his face sheet? Can I just glance at that, please? Thank you. All right, sir, your bond is $1,500. You're not to return to the bank. Do you understand? Or to contact the bank.
1,500.
1,500 is your bond. Is your bond.
That's 10%, right?
You're gonna have to call the bondsman and see what the bond amount will be.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Magda Quers.
Ma'am, you're here in 20 CF 1361. You were arrested for being an accessory after the fact to a second-degree felony. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond, ma'am, is $2,500.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Aponte Rosario, bond, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. DeLeon?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 20 CT 746. You were arrested for DUI. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Does Mr. DeLeon qualify for PTR?
He does qualify.
All right, so I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Grant? I'm sorry, Mr. Paul?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Paul. You are here in 20 MM 765 and 20 MM 766 for trespassing in a structure or a conveyance.
Yes?
There's probable cause, oh, there's another one, 20 MM 767, also for trespassing. Am I understanding this right? This is all on the same day at Target?
No, it's over a couple different days. Oh,
I see, okay. All right, is there an offer for Mr. Paul?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 4 days with credit time served, court cost.
All right, so Mr. Paul, that would be for all 3 cases this morning. You would be adjudicated guilty, sentenced to 4 days. You have credit for 2, so you'd be here 1 more day. Do you want to resolve all the cases today?
yes,
You can't go back to Target.
okay.
You understand in that parking garage there?
Yeah, okay.
All right, sign the plea form, please. Sir, did you read the plea form before court this morning?
I don't have my reading glasses.
May I have a moment?
Sure.
Your Honor? Your Honor, he's ready.
All right. You have any questions about any of the rights on the plea form, sir?
No,
All right. Are you on probation?
no,
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
no.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
I have my birth certificate with me, I was born in Ohio.
Okay, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. All of those will run concurrent to one another. You will have to pay court costs. Those are going to be due by January 31st of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Melody Rich.
Miss Rich? You are here in 20 CF 1312. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
I thought I was here for a writ for child support.
You are. You have 2 cases. So you've got the possession of cocaine that you were arrested for on the 29th of January. So that was on Wednesday. And then you also have the writ for the, it looks like it's child support. Your purge amount is $1,070. If you're unable to pay that, where is it from? Volusia County. Volusia County is gonna come and pick you up. You'll see a judge when you get there. I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance in the Orange County case, ma'am. You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release from the jail, whether it's here or in Volusia County,
Okay.
and give them a good contact information for you. That way you can stay on top of your court date and you don't miss court.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So on Joshua Yatsko, I'm thinking he bonded. Did he bond? It was from yesterday. The state was given 24 hours for supplemental information, but he had a bond. last name is Yatsko. Oh, no, that's not right. That's the officer.
Robinson?
Sorry. Leon Robinson is the defendant. He bonded. All right, I'll file this anyway in the court file, Ms. Fusco.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I believe that's everything, and we'll be in recess.